Gwen priority is going to be out the wazoo. It's going to be absolutely insane.
Yep.
As the Scion will be locked in. Just going to try and neutralize this Crocodile as much as possible.
See, right?
This is the bottom lane that often has all the pressure. And now Canyon, speaking of pressure, is coming down to look for a dive. Gumayusi does have his summoners available, but he may have to use them as the Valkyrie comes out. There's the barrier. As Duro holding onto the turret aggro, and he is a cannon. And so he can do it as Carrier now so incredibly low as Canyon just standing next to him. Gets out the steadfast presence as the flash forward. Duro will be able to tank that one up.
Just playing that one so perfectly. I feel like playing with T1 spot lane now. Dive coming top.
Yep, Keen could be in a little bit of trouble, and by could be, I mean, he definitely is. Flash out from Ona, that is going to keep him alive.
He gets his POM finally. So here he sets up and baits the slam from Carrier, flashes it immediately, which was just so well played, and then lands the root onto Carrier, gets him low. Goes for the redive here, takes aggro, walks out, the buckler comes in, not enough to kill him.
Yep. Side, but maybe some plates available here as Doran has walked his way back up. Actually, no, didn't actually decide to go back, was just chilling underneath the turret. As the flash forward, looking to lock down the Nico, and Doran just punishes Duro for overstepping.
Beautiful play there from Doran. There, kind of needed for the side of T1. Finds the window, doesn't get tricked by the clone as well. Connects immediately.
With a random toy car from the toys aisle.
Kind of chocolate bar, you know?
I'm not saying this out of experience. We've got a bit of an engage. Great snare to come down from Duro, and another kill comes in for Ruler. Now Duro looking to lock down Carrier, but he's not going to find out. Gumayusi does flash away, but it's a double for the Kaiser. Doran trying to get in there as Canyon looking to fend him off. But Meek not going to quite work out. The heroic charge does come through though, and Ruler will be locked down. Doran is very scary, but he just goes down. Chovy finds the angle, and it's another Tangle Barbs as the double comes in for Duro. This bottom lane are now just unstoppable. It's kind of crazy though, because you can see Canyon moving over here, looking to try and lock down this dragon. Could be double dragon for T1 to start this one off, as the knockup does come through, but they're not going to be able to get here. That's going to be a Chemtech Soul, which honestly, not too bad. Oftentimes they give you a hard time for this one, but there is a Renekton and stuff like that, as Gumayusi taking a lot of damage here, as Ruler is just showing off. Not a lot of teams are in him, as it turns out. As okay, we've got a cease and desist here. Gumayusi is going to agree. He will stop. As Canyon, he may as well. And a teleport in from Doran as well, so that is going to mean that it's T1 favored. Great little pick off there, and good answer from T1.
And I think I just saw
that, Rage Blade together. As Canyon's moving over, but there are a lot of people underneath this turret. Looks like T1 do want to employ the Rift Herald, and he does go down. That's a great double shockwave from Faker, as Canyon and Chovy looking a little worse for wear. This isn't going to be the tower falling down immediately, and Keen looking to try and get some pressure down. Let's see whether he can find an angle as he slows down Doran, but they just turn onto this Scion. Gen.G not able to protect him, and Keen has to flash to get himself out of the way. Blooming Burst not quite doing enough here as Chovy walks
and look
into the river here. They've got so much vision of this area as that. You look for it. Doran underneath the turret, but maybe it's a bridge too far still. They managed to lock that turret down and trade for their Renekton. Cease and desist, and they just mow them down. Keen not going to quite find the window here as another Tangle Barbs comes in, and Owner is also dead. It's a triple for Ruler. Oh no! It looked so good for T1 until it was a disaster.
Such an overstep there from T1. The health bars were low. They felt like they'd done enough to get the tower, but they look for the fight. They step too far. Ruler on that massive item spike. So easy for him to clean up those.
Dragon as well, so that dragon stacking will be stopped.
The problem there was, it was the sort of fight where T1 were really more focused on the turret. That was their objective in that. They were like, we want to take the turret. Doran, go zone them off. If we can get some kills, great. But the main focus was taking the turret there. And Gen.G were just absolutely laser focused on we can just wipe them, especially with how strong Ruler was. And I think T1 just kind of disrespected Gen.G in the moment.
Yep, or protect Gen.G from growth, basically, is how that one generally goes. This is curious, but you know, it's some spaghetti. As Owner is off to the side, this Otacon down to 50%. It's taking so much damage, man. If Ruler decides things just go down, but Doran has found a flank angle, and Ona gets himself in there. It looks like they're not interested in the other kind of cease and desist. Will connect, fully charged Q onto Doran, and he is going to be the first one to go down. Pop Blossom to deal with Carrier, and they do manage to do it. It's just front to back here for Gen.G as Ruler goes in, looking for the last few shots. The supercharger comes down for Gumayusi. He outplays it. Duro now in trouble as Otacon is looking to finish him off as Keen. Can he get over this wall to lock him down? And he has the flash. And Gumayusi, not many ways out here. Faker has actually taken out Chovy off to the side, and he gets the Otacon! All of the pedals going their way, and now they have the DPS. Keen, he's just a tank, and he has to walk it off.
What a clutch play from T1, just when you... from Faker and Guma, this duo, keeping the hopes of the team alive.
That was absolutely ridiculous. Man, it's good to have...
TP'd in at low HP to Otacon, just killed Chovy, took the neutral, and was like flank angle.
Yeah, Carrier is going to get spotted here by Gen.G as Keen moving in, wanting to find the angle. Chovy throws down between worlds. There's the Void Seeker connecting for Ruler as he gets dove on by the Renekton, and Pop Blossom does nothing at all, and now Canyon's in trouble. Void Seeker is going to connect. There is the knock-up, and Ruler is over the wall. He takes down Gumayusi, goes golden to keep himself alive as Carrier's trying to be a hero, but it is going to work. They do get Ruler, and now it's Chovy needing to kill Faker in this game, because if they don't, he might be able to just win this one by himself. He wants to take the Aurora, but the orb doesn't have the range. Ona wants to get in there. There is the stasis to avoid Keen, but he's so extremely tanky. And Chovy's not going to risk it this time around. Ona just audaciously charging this Brambleback. And yes, Keen is kind of immortal against these champions as Chovy's making his way back, and that is T1's cute exit.
We'll have to back away. Keen got so much presence here. Chovy TPing back in, now looking.
Yep, doesn't get it.
Faker still so scared they are about moving into an area they don't have vision, on the back of the fact that they don't have flash on their carries.
And it is Soul Point. They have started off this Baron as Duro not going to get stunned, as there's the knock-up coming on through. Duro gets over the wall, but I don't think he's necessarily in safety just yet. That Tangle Barbs may have helped out as Doran looking to get in there. The Pop Blossom, though, is going to hold him up in the air, and Duro will survive. That was some very cheeky Nicoing, and that means that the Baron is going to get stopped, as now Canyon, he's the one in trouble, and Gumayusi does a lot of damage. Cease and desist will not be acquiesced at this point in time. And there goes the jungler, and the Baron's up.
Yeah, so big pick to get Canyon down. They want to set up for this Baron, but Doran is low, and they're still cautious about the potential for a fight. They're now looking for more.
Yep, Mega Cone does get Ona in there, as between worlds goes Chovy. Knock-up is going to come on through for Keen, but he is still melting here against T1. He does find some knock-ups, but doesn't get the Q. Void Seeker going to come on down here as Ruler. I don't think he wants to fight this. The Zombie Scion will be taken down, and T1 lands. Yep, Chovy's still up as well, as there is Doran setting up that Dominus. He's had a beeline towards Ruler every single time, but this health bar is just getting softened up. The Baron's likely to go down, but can they get themselves out? And the answer is absolutely yes. 1,000, which means approximately 0.
Yeah, beautifully played there from T1.
And so Gen.G will not have any of these turrets fall just yet, but on this push, it should be this one going down as Canyon looks for an angle. Doesn't quite get over the wall, but there is between worlds for Chovy, looking to try and lock down Ona here as the Tangle Barbs will connect. But Keen just can't really frontline anymore.
Yeah, and I feel like Ona has kind of been playing like a tank Xin Zhao, where he's just been absorbing so much, and it doesn't seem like a fun role, but when Gen.G approach, he's just there to block and make sure they can't get access to backline. And now T1 looking for this mid-tier 2 without the Aurora ult. Feels like a lot of pressure.
Void Seeker does find Gumayusi. Kind of a big deal as this Rabadon's death cap has been completed. Valkyrie is a good trade for that one. As Keen now moving his way in. That health bar is getting real large. As Chovy on that angle, Canyon moves into the pit, I think unseen there, as now Doran dives on top of Chovy. Can he actually get himself out? He goes between the worlds, but the Krug Lord has him exactly where he wants him, and the Dragon goes over to T1. Keen is looking to go down here as well, as no redemption for the Scion, and T1 finding the angles in the late game.
There, and now
he did.
5v3, T1's just looking to end.
Yep, Carrier looking to get into position here. That is definitely this inhibitor going down. Let's see how much more that they can collect. As there is no Baron, they can deal with the wave theoretically, but there's a lot of low-range members on Gen.G. And T1 will have front row seat to this. Here's the engage as Ruler dives in, immediately does go golden and does flash away. Can he stay alive? That's the question. The answer is no! Owner is able to lock him down as Canyon gets into that back line, but it's not going to be enough. And T1 they were losing the entire game until they weren't, as Keen is going to show up, looking to try and deal with this wave as best he can. They might be able to do it here for now, but that's another zombie Scion. And Doran running amok in this fight as well. This one may not necessarily be completely over just yet, but I think the writing is on the wall as T1, phenomenal performance late in this game. Duro and Chovy trying to get this one done. Out goes Chovy, no between worlds for you. And Gumayusi just needs a few shots on this Nexus. Chovy not going to be able to finish him off. And there it is, T1 with a game 1 win.